and welcome to the Golden Hour. I am Golden Duffy, your host for today, where we are going to take thought beyond where it has been before, where I am going to open up your consciousness to new experiences and to new awarenesses so that you can start creating the identity of who you most want to be. So identity creation is one of my favorite topics. So the title today, we're on episode 7 of season 1 is Why Am I Like This? So this title actually came because I found this book. My friend and I found this book when we were shopping, and it was like, why am I like this? And I think it's such a good question, especially when you have cycles that you don't understand. Like, why do I keep creating this? Why? And maybe you're not even there yet. Right? Like, first we have to acknowledge that we have a role here, that we have a role in everything that's coming to us. That's what law of attraction is all about. That's what universal law, quantum physics is all about, is understanding that you are sending out a signal. And that signal is bringing things back to you depending on how you are feeling, what you are believing, and what you are projecting. Think about a projector. Like, think about what happens when you project things. Like, you basically, when you are watching a movie and you're watching it through a projector, it's projecting that movie onto the wall. That is what you're doing with your thoughts and your beliefs and the way that you see the world and the way that you activate your future, how you see your future, the energy that you're sending to everything and everyone, every topic in your life, every person in your life, you are sending them a signal. And that signal also gets sent to yourself. So depending on how you feel about yourself, the beliefs that were created at a very young age, and if you've never taken a look at those things, today is going to be for you. Today is a great conversation and a great time to start to understand why you're like this. And first of all, I want to preface this by saying there is nothing wrong with you. I think we get into these habits of thoughts and beliefs about ourselves where we have these self-deprecating, self-critical beliefs that and thoughts and, self-talk. I call it something else, but for the sake of the show and not being allowed to swear, we'll call it the crappy committee. It's the committee in your head that basically starts to tell you all the things that are wrong with you, and you walk around feeling like you're not good enough. And you walk around trying to find ways to fix yourself without actually initializing and sitting down and asking yourself these really important questions that we're going to dive deep into today. So I'm really pumped for this conversation because the reason why I love identity creating so much is because it goes beyond the levels of law of attraction. When I first discovered identity creation, it was actually from a book by Fred Dodson, who is one of my favorite authors. I would love to have him on the show, and it's very possible. I have to reach out to him. He was actually on a previous show that I did with somebody else a long time ago. And it was incredible to have him on there, but I had to be creative. We actually played a game with him. I had to be creative to get him on. He is one of the greatest thought leaders, I think, in the way that he puts things. So Fred Dodson's book is called Parallel Universes of Self, and you can check that out. I definitely recommend listening to it because it's very dense. But he was the one who started to uncover this, like, reality creating, identity creating for me. And then I started doing it myself. And that's why I can speak to it, because it's experiential now. I've done this myself. I've become who I say I want to be. And I walk my talk. I do not tell you guys to do things that I'm not actually doing. And I don't pretend to be living this joyful life. I actually am. So that's why I'm so fueled and so pumped to share information with you guys that will up-level your consciousness and up-level the consciousness of the world. This is what happens when we up-level our consciousness, when we start having realizations and when we start becoming aware of these low-level programmings and belief systems, these low vibrational things that pull us down. When we start raising into consciousness, we change the vibration of the world. I know it's crazy because you're like, wait, what I do? I change the vibration of the world. But think about this. I'm sure you've heard of like the ripple effect, right? I call it the golden effect. Every person that you touch touches a person, and then that person touches a person. And this is how it becomes this ripple effect in this like tidal wave of lightheartedness and love and kindness and compassion when we are not moving from wounds. That's what we're working to get away from, is moving from wounds. So I implore you to come on this journey with me today, because it's a really important conversation around who you are interested in becoming. Now, if you are living a life that is like super fulfilling and you're doing all the things and you're working out of your comfort zone and you're really expressing, then this conversation is really just a reminder and a solidifier of what you're doing. So I just want to acknowledge that, because not everybody is watching this show because they feel like they need an energy transference. Some of us just need reminders, little baby reminders that, oh, yeah, that's right, I'm powerful. Oh, yeah, that's right, that thing happened that I didn't really want to happen, but now that it's happened, I have the ability to manifest something different. And because I have the ability to do that, I'm going to exercise it in every way possible. So let's dive in. So, have you ever heard of the term fake it till you make it? Fake it till you make it is all about identity creation, because it's moving from a confidence that you haven't quite lived. So when you are super confident, when you're a confident person and you're kind of charging around, and in this story just popped up, I'm not sure why. So a long time ago, like maybe 10 years ago, we were in network marketing, and we would do all these crazy things. And we actually got invited to go to this like private jet show. It was really awesome. We got to just go on all these different jets that they were selling, and it was really cool. And we walked in, and my husband, who was in a suit, because that's what we did, we dressed up, act as if, right, like we're in business, we're being serious, we're being business people. And he walked out onto like the tarmac, and he's walking around all these private jets, and he's just like super confident, and nobody questioned him. And it was because he was acting as if like, I belong here. Pay attention to the ways that you're not doing that. Like when you walk in somewhere and you're shrinking like a wallflower, when you show up somewhere and you're like, I belong here, this is where I belong, that's faking it till you make it. Especially if you're not in the yet, if you're not in the financial bracket to buy a private jet yet. So faking it till you make it is the idea of acting as if. It's acting as if. It's taking the identity of what you're looking to create, and it's doing whatever you can to wrap yourself in that identity through action, through thought, through beliefs, through confidence. And confidence doesn't necessarily come from thinking about things. Confidence comes from doing things, and confidence comes from knowing who you are. So, of course, the first thing I'm going to say, meditation is going to help you to really connect with that, who you are, and connect with that power of who you are, that you are this expression of all that is, that you have this energy flowing, this infinite wisdom and energy flowing through you. When you start to know that at a deeper level, that's when you're going to start acting as if will be easy for you when you start to do that. Another story has just popped up, which is so funny. And this is crazy that we did this. So the first time that we came to California, we were scouting. So for those that don't know, I moved from Connecticut to California. Connecticut was my home from birth. About 8 years ago, we're coming up on our 8th anniversary in July. And we were moved when we came here. We really wanted to scout. We really wanted to find out where we wanted to live. But I had met a guy on Twitter, and he implored us to come to Santa Monica. He said, you have to see LA, you have to see Santa Monica, you have to see how beautiful this is. And so we were in it to win it. So we're like, well, we'll land in LA, we'll start in Santa Monica, and we'll make our way down to San Diego so we can see everything and feel the energy and decide where we want to live. And possibly, hopefully, please let us make connections. So we met with this guy from Twitter, and I had the most leading edge conversation with him ever. And he was actually working on a movie, and we were talking about like what it takes to be a producer of a movie and all of that. So I actually booked, this is so amazing that I did this. I love this. I booked a viewing of a home that was being rented for $17,000 a month. Now, did I have that kind of money to rent a house for $17,000 a month? No, I did not. However, I acted like I did. So we meet the real estate agent, and just both of us like super confident, and we're like talking about, and this isn't like, we're not wasting the real estate agent's time. What we were doing really was acting as if we were creating from the identity of knowing what that feels like to look at these beautiful homes and consider that we may actually be able to rent them. So we met with them, and they were like, "Oh, what do you guys do?" And I was like, "Oh, we're in network marketing, and we're thinking about producing a movie." And it was so much fun. And let me tell you, that experience of looking at this amazing home and telling these people that it wasn't quite right for us, it was really, it was a crazy experience, but it was really impactful in the acting as if. Now, that doesn't mean you go around and lie about who you are. I wasn't lying. I was playing. I was pretending. I was acting as if. So being in that vibration, talking to these high-end real estate agents and being very sure about ourselves actually created a connection to wealth and abundance. So that's how it's done. And the way to do it is just to have a lot of fun with it, and just to really believe in yourself, really believe that you have the identity to create. So become that which you seek to be. So whatever it is that you're looking to be, you have to become it first. So if you're looking for love, you have to become more love. If you're looking for money, you have to become abundant. You have abundance that is there for you. I'm doing my abundance challenge right now, and that is what we are tuning into, that frequency, every single day. So how do we go from who we are now to who we want to be? We're going to go on a little journey. First, we have to start by going back. Now, I don't mean viciously revisiting your past. I did that once with a therapist, and they actually wanted to put me on medicine for being bipolar, which I absolutely said no, because they brought me back to so many traumatic experiences that it rocked my world, and it actually solidified a depression that I had to climb out of after a few months. So I don't recommend that. I'm not saying that I don't recommend therapists, but I don't recommend like just going back. And if you're gonna go back, like go back from solution, not just like let's go back and revisit those memories. I don't really recommend that. What I do recommend is going back and identifying why you believe what you believe about yourself and the world around you. Like revisit the belief systems. And if there's something, if there's something that you're looking to manifest, it's sitting down and it's meditating on it, and it's saying, okay, what do I really believe about this? You can walk around all day and say, oh, I am a millionaire and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But if you don't feel it at your core level and you have beliefs that are blocking it, you're just spouting words. There's no energy conduction. That wave behind me is not strong enough to actually manifest what you are saying that you want to be. There's too much lack in it from the feeling place because there's no belief systems to elevate it. That's what belief systems do for manifestation. They elevate the energy field. They push that wave. They create a stronger conduction of that wave. And anytime you have something that you're having trouble manifesting, it's because you have a belief that's blocking it. So you got to work on the belief systems first. So we go back and we look at some of the belief systems. What created the signal that you send, and why do you keep sending it? Why do you keep listening to the crappy committee? Why do you keep letting yourself down? I'm going to tell you why you keep letting yourself down in a second. Why is it that the cycles in your life keep continuing and creating? And one of the biggest reasons is because you have thought patterns and beliefs that you've never really taken a look at and decided that you weren't going to be them anymore, that you weren't going to believe them anymore. So cycles are often very nostalgic. This is why people get caught in their cycles, and why many people that you see around you kind of have this like they never change, because we know how to deal with drama. We've all grown up with dramatic situations. Maybe you haven't, but At some point in your life, you've been part of dramatic things, like even in our world, if you watch the news, there's a heck of a lot of drama going on the news. So it becomes nostalgic and it becomes an addiction because at some level, we love the chemicals and the hormones that are downloaded. I was talking to a friend the other day and she was saying she had sold her company and she's kind of doing some things on the side and trying to figure out what her next move is. And she was saying something's missing. And we decided the thing that was missing was stress because there's an addiction to adrenaline. Pay attention to your addiction to adrenaline because that's your addiction to drama. And that's like when you do things like you're addicted to the news, you're addicted to drama. There's nothing good on the news. People have this belief like I have to be informed. And it's like, first of all, I don't want to believe anything on the news anymore. And secondly, there's no good news. Oh my gosh. I was in the nail salon recently and the news was on, which was not great. And it was like one murder after another. And I was like, why would you tune into this? Like, why would you tune into this? If we are being really mindful of our frequency and what we're ingesting and the signal that we're sending, if you think watching the news is going to help you to create a great signal and a high vibration, I'm going to tell you that it's not. It absolutely is not. All right, so stress can make us feel important, it can make us feel worthy, and it can make us feel necessary. It can make us feel like we matter when we're all stressed out and we're getting things done and, we're making it happen. That's the old school way of creating, like we got to set goals, we got to go out there, we got to make it happen, we got to push the energy around. And yes, that works. And I've done it. I've done it. Man, when I was in network marketing, we had tons of promotions that we hit by making it happen. And I did things that I'm not proud of. And I won't do that again. But just know that stress, that going out and killing it and setting goals and pushing the energy field, as much as it works, it's not that enjoyable. It's not that enjoyable. And the stress is literally eating you from the inside. It is screwing with your cells. It is screwing with regeneration. And it's not really allowing you to live a life of vitality and thriving. Drama can make us feel like we matter. This is why you may be addicted to the news or scary movies because they make you feel something. I see a lot of people that are even addicted to like super heavy metal music or like punk music, like that really angry, screaming music. That's an addiction to adrenaline. And I would caution you if you're doing that to be very careful because if you look energetically at music like that, like look at the music you're listening to energetically, if it's low on the vibrational scale, it's going to bring you down. It's going to bring you into a negative space. And the whole goal here is to raise our consciousness and raise our vibration. So that kind of stuff, it's not really serving you. I know, because it's nostalgic and it feels good and it makes you feel bad. Like people use it to work out all the time. Guys, I think. I mean, there are women too. Actually, there's a spin instructor that I refuse to go to her class because she plays that music. It's that feeling, that amplification of your adrenaline that you are addicted to. And when you're addicted to adrenaline and cortisol is running through your system, you are at a very high risk for a lot of different health issues. Okay. Why do you self-sabotage? So let's talk about self-sabotage. So a while ago, I kind of got to the point where I was like, why would someone self-sabotage? That's like ridiculous. Well, I started like diving into it and researching it. The cycles that you have of self-sabotage is when you start to change. Like you say, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow, right? I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to be this healthy, fit person, right? And then you get up and you let your mind talk you out of going to the gym, right? You let yourself down, right? So that's a way that you self-sabotage, but there's beliefs underneath that self-sabotage that you've got to get in touch with. So the whole reason that we do this is because long long ago, you were wounded. Somebody wounded you. It could have been a playground wound. I was those peer things, or like, remember like not getting picked on the gym team. when we'd have teams for sports and gym, and you'd sit there and you'd go, God, I hope I'm not the last one to be picked, right? Like that was mortifying. I just remember being so mortified and not sure if I was going to, if I was going to just die right there. So at that point, you made a decision. You made a decision, and it's still in play today if you haven't done anything about it. If you haven't done any healing work, and if you haven't looked at the beliefs, many of them are still from childhood wounds and decisions that you made at a very young age to protect yourself, to no longer become vulnerable in front of people, to no longer ask what you want, to no longer walk through. And this is why you walk through life pleasing others, so you can be liked. That is the root of that wound, is why we do all of these things that actually deplete our energy field in an effort to try to get love, because we don't feel lovable. This is a self-protection mechanism that served you. It really did. It served you when you were little, but now when you try to expand and grow, it shows up. It shows up in procrastination, avoidance, perfectionism, disrespect of your own desires, and no follow through when it comes to having integrity for yourself. So this is when you break promises to yourself. I have a very very hard line with this, because one of the things that I have bought into, like my new belief system, is if I can't keep promises to myself, who can I keep them to? If I can't keep promises to myself, then who can I keep them to? And the fact of the matter is, if you are keeping a bunch of promises to other people and letting yourself down, then you are out there trying to please others. You're trying to get love. That's what you're doing. You're just trying to get love from a lackful place. So it will never be enough. Never be enough. You have to stop walking around in a 5-year-old survival mechanism. If you really want to up level into adulthood, into maturity, into emotional maturity, I'm going to say. I'm not always mature. In fact, I can be pretty silly and I can act like a little girl, especially when I'm with my Fun Friday friend, Diane. If you didn't watch our show last week, it's archived. It was really fun. I can get really silly with really silly people. My husband and I can be really silly together. We can definitely be a little immature, as they would call it. I'm talking about emotional maturity. So that means that you have a handle on your emotional fields because you've done the healing work that allows you to become more, that allows you to no longer be a victim to your emotions. So I'm going to help you figure that out. You can't move forward, and you're always going to let yourself down if you don't start doing the work, if you don't start looking within. I have lots of different people in my life who are constantly like, why am I like this? Like constantly like, why am I like this? And I will share, I will share what needs to be done, what needs to be looked at. But if you're not willing, if you're really not willing, and the other piece of this is if you're not ready, there has to be a readiness to expansion and growth. There has to be a readiness to healing. If you've gone through some major traumas or, life-changing things like divorces or deaths or illnesses, death, having people die, from illnesses, like all that stuff that creates a lot of fear, and it rocks your foundation. It really rocks your foundation. So if you've been through a lot of that, you need time to process it, especially if you never have. If you've had grief and you didn't want to look at it and you're still running around, if you got wounds and you're trying to escape and avoid them and shop and eat and drink and smoke and all that stuff and just fill it up and just push it down and push it down, you're going to keep living these cycles because there's no mindfulness, there's no awareness, there's no releasing, there's no acknowledgement. You have to get honest with yourself. We have to get honest. So we begin by healing and identifying the beliefs that are continuing the cycles. So I have some beliefs and thoughts for you, just so that you can kind of recognize, but you can add to these because I'm sure that you have your own. So these are beliefs and thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I feel guilty if I say no. Ugh, goodness. If you learn anything from this show, please give up guilt. Guilt serves no purpose, And if you're going to say no about something, be confident in it and be sure, because when you're confident in it, the person you're saying no to will not reflect the guilt to you. So then it's over. They figure it out. They figure out their life and you figure out your life and everybody goes on their merry way. I don't feel like it, right? Okay, this is procrastination, the I don't feel like it. And that's a mind training practice that needs to really be initiated, where you don't do things because you feel like it. Like you don't think about exercise, you just go do it. You don't think about the healthy, like you don't think about brushing your teeth. I hope you don't. Like, I hope you don't like consider, should I brush my teeth or not? I think you probably just brush your teeth, or like taking a shower, like, no, like it's just, these are automatic behaviors. So when it comes to healthy habits, when they become automatic behaviors, they become your identity. I exercise. That's what I do. If I have professed that I am strong and healthy and fit, then I go to the gym. I eat healthy. I meditate. I do the things that are going to promote that health that I have professed. Okay. I don't deserve it. I hate myself. I'm unlucky. I heard this one the other day. Oh my goodness. It took everything I had to not comment on this post on Facebook. I'm unlucky. Yeah. Hello. What do you think is going to happen if you think you're unlucky? I'm worried that I won't be liked. If I say no, I won't have any friends. I'm not good at stuff. I'm not creative. My mind is too busy to sit in quiet. That will kill your meditation practice and it will kill your growth. I don't have time to work on myself. Oh, here's some good ones. All men are liars and cheaters. I've heard that one a lot. All women are liars and cheaters. I've heard that one too. The world is unfair. Life sucks and then you die. Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah, you hear that one. I think there's a song about that one. I'm a procrastinator. I am. Think about what you're putting. I am. Think about what you're putting on the I am statement, which is a very strong conduction of the wave. I never finish anything I start. Nothing ever works out for me. If I don't worry, things will fall apart. I heard someone say that once and I was like, really? Like they think that worrying is their job and it's going to keep everything together. No, worrying is like praying for what you don't want, because it's focused on what you don't want. I'm unlovable. No one wants to be with me. There's no good people out there, especially if you've recently started to grow. So what happens is vibrationally, when we raise our vibration, the people who are at the lower vibrations, it doesn't mean we're better than them. It just means that they haven't expanded and grown to the consciousness that we're at. We won't be a match anymore. This is like the most freeing thing you can start to believe, is when you may lose some friends and then it takes a little time for the new tribe to show up. Trust me, it can take a little time. But if you can work from not believing that there's no good people out there, they will show up faster. So it's like, oh, I'm in expectation of my new tribe showing up that's in alignment with who I am and what I believe and the consciousness that I'm at now. I can never lose weight. Yep. I did a whole show on this. You can actually check my YouTube channel, Manifest to Live Life Golden on YouTube. I did a whole show on this the other day about your physical body and the signals that you're sending to your physical body and getting out of this belief that you can't lose weight and why you may not be. I've never been good with money. I need to be aware of what's going on in the world, programming in to watch the news. You don't need the bad news. Does some of this sound familiar? Maybe you can add some. Begin asking yourself, what are the beliefs that are blocking the identity of who I'm looking to become? What are the beliefs? Do I not feel good enough? Listen, not feeling good enough, yes, that's something that we need to address, but there's a belief that activates that feeling. And where does it come from? Have you shown yourself time and time again that you are good enough? Do you have people in your life that are reflecting the goodness that you are? Do you have wonderful things in your life that are reflecting the goodness that you are? So you have to start looking for those things, because if you're always turning into a frequency that you're not good enough and that your life isn't good enough, you're going to have trouble reaching the vibration where things are really good. All right. So begin asking yourself, what are the beliefs that are blocking writing? This is great for writing, to do some journaling around this. What are the beliefs that are blocking what I'm looking to manifest? And then ask what you would have to believe to begin stepping into this new identity. So you can use other people. If there's other people that are doing what you really want to do, you can look at what they're doing and emulate it. Or you can just ask, like, what do I need to believe to step into this new level? What do I need to believe about myself in order to be healthy, strong, and fit? Well, I have to believe that I'm capable. I have to believe that I can get up at 4 a.m., which I do. Which you may not have to do, but that's what I choose to do. I have to believe in my ability to do it, just to do it, just to get out there and do it. So a lot of times that belief comes later after you show yourself a little bit. But if you've been a person who has done anything, if you've done an exercise program or, worked on creating a business and you've kind of stopped and started, the reason why is because you have those self-sabotaging beliefs in there that you have to take a look at in order to connect with, what do I need to let go of to get to this next level? If it is like a business that you're trying to create, like maybe you're trying to be a creator, a YouTube channel, a podcast, that sort of a thing, or get yourself out there as a speaker, like be an influencer, like be someone who helps in raising the consciousness of the world. If that's something that you really want to do, there's a lot you have to move through. There's a lot of fears, the fear of being seen, the fear of screwing up. There's a lot of fear and comfort zone stuff that you have to move through. But sitting here today, I can tell you it is so worth it. It is so incredibly worth it to wake up every day doing what you love and feeling super fulfilled and knowing that you're making a difference, that you're actually making a difference in people's lives, and that people are using the information that you have to improve things. I love that. I really love that. And you need to go do it. You really do. You need to just do it. Don't ask questions, just go do it and you'll figure it out. When I started my podcast 2 years ago, I was clueless, completely clueless. I had no idea. So I just started Googling stuff. Like, Google's great. You can Google and figure anything out. And used to have a real problem with electronics. And like the only thing I could do is like check email and do a Facebook post. And I have come light years from that identity. So I now identify with somebody who can figure pretty much anything out when it comes to this sort of stuff, and a person who walks their talk and does what they say they're going to do. Okay. Then, ask what you want. You have to believe to begin stepping into the new identity, and then ask, what are the actions you can take to start identifying with someone new? Now, you can do this with a lot of different things. Like, let's say there's some negative things that you want to let go of. Like, you want to stop getting mad at your spouse. You want to stop getting mad at your spouse for every little thing that they do and every way that they annoy you. If you want to be that person who starts to let things go, your response is everything. And the thoughts leading up to that response are actually what create the response. So if your husband is doing something, it's not thinking those same thoughts. A really silly thing is, my husband chews gum really loud, really loud. And I have friends that think that's really funny and send me gum. But I've really worked on this one, because if I say anything to him, he chews louder. Like, this is the funny relationship that we have. So now I just breathe and I work to just not allow it to annoy me, because getting annoyed with him drops my vibration. It creates contention between us, and it's not worth it. Like, why am I getting annoyed about loud chewing gum? If you can get yourself to the point where you don't get annoyed about those little things, your vibration will raise and you will be in so much more control over your emotional field. I promise you. Because once you start to get a little bit annoyed about things, law of attraction, it brings more things for you to get annoyed about. And before you know it, you're in full on frustration and you're in anger and you're yelling at everyone. So it's like, it builds. So even the little tiny annoyances, you can let them go. I'm not going to choose to let that annoy me right now. I'm just going to breathe. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to do what I can do to protect my vibrational field. All right. Start with 3 small ways you can begin to respond and become the new you. So pick something that you want to work on. I have a really great guest coming up soon. I'm not sure when he's going to be on, but we were talking about frequency, and it was so interesting because he's a coach. He coaches people in the fitness realm. And he was saying how, they work with frequency and intensity. So if if you set these huge goals, you're going to let yourself down because you haven't created any foundation. So he starts with really small things, like just drive to the gym and walk up to the door. And everyone that drives to the gym and walks up to the door is going to go inside because they're already there, right? But he starts small. So take on 3 little small actions that can start to create this new identity. If it's a business that you're looking to create, start Googling things, start seeing, do I want to do a podcast? Do I want to do a YouTube channel? What is it that I want to express to the world? And what's my most exciting way of doing it? And then start researching that. So just start with little things and think outside the box, because we get ourselves like trapped in these little boxes, and then we let our thoughts talk us out of everything that we want to do. And it's just kind of silly when you think about it. It's really silly to be talked out of your dreams every day and your desires. It's really so much more fun and so much more fulfilling. And life is so much more thrilling when you actually do what you say you want to do. So here is a little word of caution. I have a couple of words of caution. One is when you start to up level, at first you may feel like an imposter. So I was talking to a friend who became an attorney, and for a long time she was a paralegal. And after she passed the bar and she became an attorney, she started to feel like an imposter. Like she didn't feel like an attorney yet because she hadn't fully stepped into that energetic field. Until you start doing it here and there, you may feel like an imposter. And interestingly, imposter syndrome is really big with kids coming out of college and stepping into new identities, right? Like you get a new job, you've got a new identity. So understand that it takes a little time for the energetic to catch up with the physical, that you may be like needing to step into this new place and feeling quite terrified. I remember when we moved into our first house, we manifested the most beautiful house for our family. And we were looking at, in our price range, we were looking at little tiny houses that were going to need renovations. And then miracles happen, like the subprime mortgages and all these different things happen. And we ended up moving into like this 5-bedroom home with a pool and a hot tub. I was like blown away. And I remember it was such a manifestation. And this was before I even knew about manifesting. I was actually in the Catholic Church, and I was super spiritual, and I was praying, and we were doing a lot of good work. So it was like law of compensation. And when this whole thing went down, I remember the first time we went to church. And I remember sitting in church and feeling like a completely different person. Like I was no longer renting this little home that wasn't mine. We were in this amazing house, this beautiful Dutch colonial that was built in like the 1900s. It was my dream home. I remember feeling that energetically. It was like, whoo, this is an up level. So keep that in mind, because what happens when we start to create a new identity as well, there are going to be times when we're going to take a step back. Our old identity is going to call to us. It's going to scream at us. It's going to try everything it can do, right? It's that mind, that powerful mind that wants to keep us the safe and keep us the same. It's those addictions to those hormones that we have going on. So we have to up level. We got to go with the up level. So another word of caution is, if you do run back to your old identity, if you decided that you were going to do something new and you get scared and you pull back, you're never the same. You're never the same. So don't worry. It's just a revisit. Sometimes we just need to revisit things to learn and grow some more. So I say this a lot when it has to do with addictions, when you're trying to let something go, when you're really working on letting something go, sometimes there's revisits to learn and grow from that, but you're not the same person. If you go back and you're like, oh, I screwed up and I'm the same person and I didn't grow, you're going to stunt it. You're going to stunt that growth that you just experienced. Just say, you know what? I did that. I learned from it. It fueled my desire to become that new person. And so when you do the revisits, they feel terrible. And that was the life you used to live, but it feels so terrible. And the reason it feels so terrible is because you've taken the up level and then you revisited. So you won't stay there. If you don't beat yourself up, you won't stay there. So let it fuel you further into your new identity. All right. Also, to truly change people, we need to make solid decisions. We need to make solid decisions about who we are from this moment on moving forward. Like there's things that I talk about that I just don't do anymore. It's just not part of my experience. It's not me. That's not who I am, right? A couple of those silly things are like, I don't eat fast food. It's not some, every once in a while I'll do like In-N-Out because that's like a classier fast food. But even if I think about In-N-Out, I'm like, oh yeah. And then I think about how I feel afterwards. I'm like, nah, I'm not really going to do that. So I don't eat fast food. I never go to McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in 30 years. Yeah. Like I gave that up when I was like 18, I think, because it just made me feel horrible. So I don't do that. I don't go to drive-throughs and get food. I just don't do that. I just don't really do a lot of unhealthy foods because I don't like the way they make me feel. And remember, my I am statement is I am healthy, fit, and strong. Do I have the occasional gummy bears? Yes. Did I eat a 5-pound bag over the weekend with my husband? Yes. However, it's all within balance. So when it comes to things like donuts, I named them do nots. I do not eat them. I haven't eaten a donut in a really long time because I've labeled them as do nots because I do not like the way they make me feel. I know that those things are not going to help me to identify with a healthy person and feeling good. So I do not do them. And I made solid decisions around those things. I've made solid decisions around hard alcohol. I don't drink hard alcohol. I do have an occasional wine, but I don't like the way hard alcohol makes me feel. And just the saying of hard alcohol, like it's straight up poison. I do not drink hard alcohol. I do not do drugs. That was something that I gave up also about 30 years ago. I do not do these things. So I made solid decisions. So there is a saying out there that says a habit is just a habit until you're aware of it, and then it's a choice. And there's a belief that goes along with all addictions, all procrastinations, all things that you're not doing. And the belief that goes along with these things is something has power over you, or there's something wrong with me. Those beliefs right there will kill any expansion and growth you're going towards, because believing that there's something wrong with you drives that crappy committee that keeps you in low vibrational patterns. So you got to let that go. Get honest with yourself. Get really honest with yourself. What are the things that are holding you back? What are the activities that you're doing every day that are keeping you in low vibrations? What are the activities every day that are sucking the joy out of your life? Who are the people that you are just totally obligated to that are depleting your energy field? These are things you have to look at. Beliefs, habits, and cycles are all subject to a decision. All of them. They're subject to a decision that you need to make. There is nothing that you are powerless against. So stop believing that. Beliefs are just thoughts that you keep thinking, and every single one of them is subject to be let go of, and new ones then can become available for you to focus upon. But you have to let go of the old ones. We're not trying to change beliefs because they're different vibrations. We're looking to let them go and reach higher. So here's a couple of new beliefs you can take on. Your new beliefs must support your new identity. Beliefs like, I have the power to heal. I have an amazing show coming up on Thursday with Dr. Josh Sharp. Super excited for that show. We're going to talk about the power we have to heal. He's a chiropractor. He is a leading edge thought expert. Him and I are really similar in our beliefs and our consciousness. And I'm really excited for that conversation about having the power to heal and the things that you can do to initialize healing in your life, no matter what you're going through. I am worthy of a great life. Do you believe you deserve it? You got to believe you deserve it. You believe that you deserve wealth. Believe that you deserve luxury. Believe that you deserve abundance. Look at your beliefs when it comes to wealthy people, when it comes to people who are living in abundance. Are you jealous? Are you thinking that they're not good people, you got to look at that because that will keep you away from abundance. I am loved because I am loved. I am loved because I am loved. Look for that love inside of you. I actually have a self-love guided meditation that's incredible, really incredible. Maybe I'll share it on my YouTube channel. If you want that, you can email me at livelifegolden@gmail. Hold on. I have my email address right here. Right here. If you email me, I will send you that meditation. Otherwise, I may put it live on YouTube. We'll see. I am capable of manifesting what I desire. I am capable of manifesting what I desire. I have everything I need to create a life that I love. I have everything that I need. That gets you out of the fear of not knowing enough and not doing enough. I am aware of any thought that doesn't support the new me, and I let it go and replace it. I am expanding. Oh, I replace it with I'm expanding and growing in every moment. I'm expanding and growing in every moment. I love that. Okay. You have the potential to be anything you desire to be. And this is why. You are an expression of infinite wisdom and intelligence. You have a co-creative partnership with the universe. You need to activate it. You need to call upon it. You need to draw from it. You have to invite it in. You have to trust it. You have to have faith and you have to believe that you are not alone in this. You are absolutely not alone in it. There's all this non-physical energy that is here to support you. And the universe will hook you up. I say this all the time because these amazing things happen. I just manifested such an amazing thing right now, like yesterday or 2 days ago. So, someone from my past that I would have never expected came out of the woodwork. And one of my things has been like, I want amazing people on this. I want amazing people on this show. And I charge for people to be on here because it's an incredible forum and you get to spend time with me and you get to promote yourself. So, I was struggling a little bit there in the beginning. And then I was like, okay, I'm a manifester. This is what I do. I'm manifesting a full schedule of guests. So, this gentleman just sent me 10 people. I had 5 conversations. I have the most incredible guests coming up for you guys. I'm so pumped. And they're all leading edge, changing the consciousness of the world, people. And this show is going to blow up because it's going to be so good. And people are going to want to hear what these people have to say. So that was a huge manifestation that made me go, oh, I did it. I did it again. Hello, I did it again. Okay. So we get hooked up when we trust. We get hooked up. The fact that you have a dream means you have what it takes to create it. You're not just having these airy fairy dreams. You can bring these dreams into the physical by taking actions and becoming the identity of who you say you want to be. It's time. It's time for you to step into all that's calling you. I am here for you. I am cheering you on. I am supporting you. If you apply this information, it absolutely 1000% works. So let go. Let go of all the beliefs and become new by meditating, journaling, becoming mindful, focusing on what you want, letting go of the crappy committee's way of thinking, making solid decisions about who you want to be, and taking actions to be just that. If you take a step back, forgive yourself and move forward. It's that easy, you guys. It's not easy. It's simple. It's not easy. This type of lifestyle takes focus and determination. It takes, I'm not going to say it takes grind because I don't like the way grind feels. What it takes is it takes a choosing, it takes a decision, moment by moment by moment, to focus on what is going well, to focus on what you want to happen, and to no longer resist life, but to go with the flows of life and have faith that things are working out for you, to work from that identity that you are so interested in creating. You know, I think if we all got like super excited and super passionate, like let's say we all had this like crystal ball and we knew that if we did the thing that it was going to totally work out for us, right? Like 1000%, we're going to do this thing, we're going to be super successful, we're going to create this amazing life that we love, we're going to have these incredibly healthy and fit bodies, and we're going to feel so good about ourselves. If you had a crystal ball, would you do it? I have a crystal ball. I have one. And I'm telling you that if you apply this stuff, it 1000% is going to work out for you. In fact, it's probably going to work out better than you expected. So good. Identity creation is my favorite. So I'm going to share a couple of things right now, just because I have a little bit of time left. My abundance activation, actually, that challenge has ended. It hasn't ended. It just began, but it closed, and I may roll it out again for June. We'll see. We'll see. It's an amazing group, and I love working with people. It's on WhatsApp. We work together every day. I give you a little activity and a guided meditation done by me, and I absolutely know that it changes lives. All right, so here we go. Mindful Manifestation Secrets is my first book that I wrote many years ago, from our journey from Connecticut to California and all the manifestations that took place. This gives you a breakdown of how energy works, and it's our story put in there for confidence, like to show you that this absolutely works and miracles are around every corner when you have faith and you trust. You can find that on Amazon. I can't put the link up, but you got to search Mindful Manifestation Secrets by Golden Duffy to find it, because Amazon, people pay to be up on Amazon, and I'm not anymore. So I need you there. And if you have read Mindful Manifestation Secrets and you can give me a review, oh, I would love that. Reviews are amazing. My book that I just finished writing is Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal. This is a great writing prompt, affirmations, lots of information. There's 100 pages of content of information on how to raise your vibration daily, how to let go of these things and become more. That book you also have to really look for on Amazon. That one's really buried because it's a journal, but it does have 100 pages of content. I don't have it up here, and I rarely ever share this, and I don't know why. Quantum Speak for Parents is a book that I wrote after Mindful Manifestation Secrets. It's energetic parenting. Quantum Speak for Parents. It's really empowering. It's an empowering parenting book. It will empower your kids. It will empower you, and it will help you to create amazing energy. The other day, my husband and I were talking about the incredible life that we've created. And this is not bragging. This is just to let you know like what's possible. So we've been together since I was 14, and we've created a very rich and successful partnership. Like, we are partners and we adore each other. We are teammates. We really come together, and there's no harshness in our relationship. And I'm proud of that because we worked through a lot of wounds and we healed a lot together. And working through with our kids, we have 4 kids ranging from 30, 29, 21, and 19. The love that we have as a family is really beautiful. And I thought the other day, like the energy in our home is so good. There's peace, there's love. We love, we hug, we want to talk to each other, and it just feels really good. And I was like, we created this. We created this, and we continue to create a life that is truly wonderful. And that's what makes me jump out of bed every day to share this stuff with you guys, because I'm so passionate to let you in on what has developed this experience for us where we truly live in joy. Do we have stresses? Sure. Do we get super stressed out? No, we let stuff go. It's like my husband the other day, it was so crazy. We were in Arizona moving my daughter from Phoenix to Scottsdale, which was such a great move. And I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud of her. And I need to have her on soon so she can share all of her manifestation stories. But my husband, we were at Home Depot, backed into somebody, and the guy was renting the truck. And he was like, if it wasn't my truck, I wouldn't care. My husband took this like a rock star. He was like, no, it's fine. It's cool. It's totally fine. And I was like, what? Like, amazing. This is what happens when you understand that everything is working out for you, and that you can decide that life is not that your happiness isn't circumstantial, that you can continue to raise your vibration no matter what is happening in the moment. All right, you guys, that's my show for today. I'm coming back on Thursday. I'm going to bring you amazing Dr. Josh Sharp. You got to join us. It's going to be such a good show. So much energy transferred. I cannot wait for this interview. I'm super excited. So have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing life, because you are the one that gets to decide to do that. I love you all. Peace out.